Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? It's Naomi here. I'm coming live from Adelaide, South Australia, from all my business, my personal page, and my personal profile. And I'm hoping and trusting that everybody is doing well. And happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's almost 6 p.m. here, Adelaide, Australia. And we are almost finishing Wednesday. I believe some other people maybe they are mid morning, others early morning, depending on the time difference around the world. And greetings to you all, and welcome aboard. And thank you for joining, and thank you for your support. I appreciate, and I do not take anything for granted. Thank you for all my new followers, and thank you for the love and the support. God bless you. All right, let me introduce myself for those ones who might be new to my platform. It's Naomi here, happy wife, proud mom of two boys, and originally from Kenya. And I live in Australia, Adelaide, with my family. I'm a full-time healthcare worker, and I run a digital business on the side. And I'm passionate to help and guide moms and dads like me who are looking for something to do, a plan B, another way of to earn an income, and strike balance, especially providing and taking care of the family and the children. And I'm happy to help and share the information because the business is transforming lives, and indeed lives are being changed. Now, thank you so much for joining today. I'm here to talk about something interesting. I was reading a book and I learned something interesting, and I thought, why not share to everybody? At least we learn. So it's good. Gonna talk about mistakes. You know, mistakes in life. Do we own our mistakes? Have we ever done a mistake? As human beings, we do mistakes each and every time, but do we learn from the mistakes? Do we own our mistakes? And did you know that there are hidden blessings within the every mistake that we make in life? How can you turn your mistakes into gratitude and discover the blessings actually that are you find or you get in your mistakes? Actually, when you own them and learn from them, that's when you discover the hidden blessings in the mistakes that we do in life. And if we take the example of our children, especially when they grow up, they do a lot of mistakes. And as parents, what we normally do, we leave them to learn from the mistakes. Sometimes when our child is trying to ride a bike, sometimes we leave them to ride and fall down, and once they do those for a few times, we just leave them to learn from their mistakes, and actually they learn from them. And what about adults? What about adults? Sometimes as adults we are so hard on ourselves when we do mistakes. But what I learned is the same case or the same rule applies same as children. The same way we leave our children to run from their mistakes, the same rule applies to us. But as adults, most of the time, we are hard on ourselves. We do not own our mistakes or run from our mistakes. Why? Because we all make mistakes, and if we don't or we'll never learn anything, we will not grow in a smarter way or in a wiser way, because in life we have freedom to make choices, and the same way we have freedom to make mistakes. And we know mistakes can hurt, but if we don't learn from the mistakes we've made, the pain we suffer from it has been nothing, in fact, if we do not learn from our mistakes. So today we just want to see, how can we own our mistakes? Are there hidden blessings on the mistakes we make, and how can we discover these mistakes? And as I said, all of us, we have the same rule as children. The same way we leave our children to learn from the mistakes, the same case or the same rule applies to us. And sometimes as adults, we are hard on our side, especially when we do mistakes. Do we learn from them? And as I said, we have the freedom to make mistakes. We are human beings, we do make mistakes. And we have freedom to make choices. But then sometimes the pain that we suffer from the mistakes we've done, we won't be able to learn anything from them, and we'll continue to suffer from these mistakes and the pain if we do not own them, accept them, and learn from them. In fact, by the law of attraction, we will continue to make same mistakes and suffer the same consequence and the same pain. That's the law of attraction. When we do mistakes, we don't own the mistakes and we don't learn from them, we'll continue to suffer the pain, and the law of attraction will continue to attract the same to happen, and we continue to suffer the consequence. And it hurts so much if we do not learn from it. It's the very reason why mistakes hurt, that we can learn from them and don't make them repeatedly. So for us not to make those mistakes repeatedly, we need to own them and then learn from them. Once you learn from something that you've done before, which is a mistake, you will not repeat that mistakes. But if we do not own them and learn from them, then the law of attraction will continue repeatedly doing the same mistakes, and we'll continue to suffer the pain and the consequences, which is not good. And now, let's pull an example. I'm going to use one of the examples. For example, you've been pulled over by the police from speeding, and you've been given speeding ticket. Do we take responsibility? What do we say normally? Say, where did he come from? How did he notice me? So most of the time we are not happy. Of course, we were the one who was speeding off. We have been pulled over by the police, and we have been given a speeding ticket. So instead of taking responsibility, we blame the police. But whose mistake is? The mistake was yours. The mistake was was mine, because I was the one who was speeding. Not the police. The police is doing his work. Actually, the police is doing his work, and a good work actually, because he's trying to ensure safety to you or to me, and maybe your loved ones and the people who are on the road. So the problem with blaming other people for our mistakes is that we will still suffer the pain and the consequences of our mistakes, but we didn't learn from it. We attract making same mistakes again. So yeah, we do a blame game most of the times, even in our workplace, in our families, anywhere we find ourselves, and we do make mistakes. As human beings, children are different. Sometimes they own their mistakes, but as adults, we are so hard on ourselves, but that we do not own our mistakes. Instead, we do a blame game, and once we do a blame game, that's when we still continue to suffer the consequences at the pain, and at the same time, we still continue to attract same mistakes, and we'll continue to suffer the same as well. So we are human, we will make mistakes, and it's one of the most beautiful things about being a human, because we are human beings, we make mistakes, but we must learn from our mistakes. Otherwise, life will have a lot of unnecessary pain. Now, in life, because we are prone to make mistakes, that's for sure. We are human beings, we are prone to make mistakes. But if we do not learn from our mistakes, unfortunately, we will continue to have an unnecessary pain in our lives for the rest of our lives. And I use an example of a police, where sometimes you are speeding, you're stopped by the policeman, and you're given a speeding ticket. Who do you blame? You blame the police. You've done a mistake in your family. Who do you blame? You blame your brother, you blame your wife, or you blame your husband. What about the workplaces? Mistake has been done, maybe it was you. Who you blame? You blame a client, or you blame your workmate. But when we own the problem, the mistake, there's something we will discover, there's something we will learn from it. And once we learn from it, we will not repeat that mistake. But if we do not own the mistake, we will not learn from it, and we will continue to attract more of the same and still continue to suffer the consequences, unnecessary pain actually, for the rest of our lives. And the best way to own your mistake, for example, if the police has given you a speeding ticket, appreciate, own your mistake. Actually, I was speeding, and the police is doing his work. He's trying to protect me, safety of myself and my family and people on the road. And that way, you will learn through that way, and you will not be able to repeat the same mistake. Now, how do we learn from mistakes? How do we learn from mistakes? That's what I learned this week. We learn from mistakes through gratitude. You know, I've been talking about gratitude, and I just realized gratitude is everyday life. It's in every situation, every circumstances. It's actually something you can breathe out each and every moment. Even the circumstances around us, you can live a life of gratitude every minute of your life, because there is a reason, there is everything that we can be grateful for. So how can we transform, or how can we learn from mistakes? It's through gratitude. And how can we do that? We transform a mistake into a blessing by looking for as many things we are grateful for from the mistakes we did. What are you grateful for from the mistake you've done in life? Because as I said, we are human beings, we do make mistakes. But how do we turn the mistakes, or how do we learn from those mistakes? Is through gratitude. And that's when we sit down and look at our mistakes and try to look for things that we can be grateful for from the mistakes we did. And now, today, think about a mistake you've made in your life. Is there a mistake you made in your life? It can be big or small. Choose one that still hurts you when you think about it. And that means when it still continues to hurt you, that means you haven't owned that mistake and you haven't learned from that mistake. And that's why you still hurt from that mistake. So think about it today, big or small. And remember, especially the one that makes or that you hurt or still hurts. It can be maybe you lost a temper with a person close to you, and the relationship is never the same. Maybe you lost a temper to a friend, to a person who is very close to you, and the relationship has never been the same. How do you heal from that? How do you see gratitude from the mistake you did, and that way you can heal from that? Maybe you turned a blind eye, maybe to protect, but ended into a difficult situation. Or maybe you chose a cheaper option on something wrong, that it ended up costing you wrong decision that backfired on you. So there are so many ways in life that we have made mistakes. Human beings, we are full of mistakes, and these mistakes have costed us. Maybe we are still suffering from the hurt, or we are still suffering from the pain, and that's because we haven't owned the mistakes, and we haven't learned from the mistakes, and we haven't turned those mistakes into gratitude by taking time to think and check out things that we can be grateful for and what we learned. And this is what you need to ask yourself: what did I learn from it, from the mistake I did? What did I learn? What are the good things that came out of it, the mistake I did? Is there anything good that came out of it? Maybe it altered your future for the better. Who knows? You can write a journal, and that's how it begins. You can decide to write a journal, go through your life today, think about a mistake you did, or several mistakes you did. Especially remember those ones that you are hurting from. Until now, as I said, that means you haven't healed from them. Probably you haven't learned from them, because once we learn from the mistakes, we are able to avoid unnecessary pains and the consequences. So think about that, and try to think what you learned from that mistake. And what are the things or good things that came out of that mistake, out of the mistake? And did it alter your life in a better way? So that's how we discover blessings in a mistake. For example, I used an example as I finalized this presentation. I used an example of maybe you were speeding on the road. And you know what happens when we speed on the road, and we do that mistake every time. You're speeding and you've been pulled aside by the police, and you've been given a speeding ticket. Do you blame the police, or do you own the mistake? And now, what if we decide to own the mistake from this ticket? Of course, I know here in Australia, especially tickets, you get a $500 ticket, 1,350, and so and whatever. So we feel so sad. But once we get this speeding ticket, what we learn from it? Once you remember that the police is doing his work, is trying to protect me, my safety, the safety of my family, and the safety of the people on the road, that's when you learn from it. And you are grateful, because you realize, if I could have continued speeding like this, if it could have not been the police who stopped me, what could have happened? That means the police has saved your life from maybe an accident or something bad that could have happened on you, maybe on your family. That's when you realize that that's the outcome, the good thing that came from it. You are safe. You learn from it because you accepted the mistake of speeding. Now you learn from it. You said, okay, the police is doing his work. Actually, I was speeding. This ticket, I own it. I did the mistake, but I've learned from it, because the police is ensuring safety for myself, the people on the road, and for my family as well. Now from onwards, the good thing that comes from here onwards, I'll be careful where I try, because I need to be safe. I need to ensure safety on the road to everyone else on the road. And that alters your future. For example, you'll continue to be careful in the future as you drive, because you learn from the mistake you did. And that's what happened. So that's my short presentation. Thank you for watching. I hope you've been you learned something that in life, as human beings, as we leave our children to learn from their mistakes, and they learn a lot from their mistakes when they are growing up. We leave them to do mistakes, and they learn from them. As human beings or as adults, we have the same rule. We are never different from the children. We do mistakes because, yeah, that's how beautifully we learn from life things. And we are prone to do mistakes as human beings. Sometimes we've done mistakes which have made us even to break relationships from family members or other people. But once we decide to learn from the mistakes and be grateful and find out the things that we are grateful for from the mistakes we have done, probably we have learned something that has enabled us to do something in a different way. And that way, we will be able to grow and attracting the same kind of mistakes and avoid unnecessary pain, unnecessary consequences, and avoid being hurt forever in life, because it's not necessary. So thank you so much for watching, and hope we'll apply this. Anytime we do make mistakes, let's own our mistakes, let's learn from our mistakes, and let's sit down and journal and see what we can be thankful from the mistakes we did. And that way we will not be able, or we'll never repeat same mistakes. Thank you so much for watching. It's your Naomi here, your digital marketing mentor. And if you're looking for a business that will give you flexibility, options where you can run your business from anywhere around the world, from your laptop or phone, and Wi-Fi connection, from the comfort of your home. Now I'm home, in my comfort of my home, I'm running the business. And maybe when you're traveling, anywhere, a business you can do from anywhere, from small pockets of your time. You schedule your time and plan yourself. If that is what you're looking for, options, I'm here for you. Send me a message. I'm just a message away, and I'm happy to share details, more information, and they guide you and help you get started and mentor you all the way, because we are a global community and we grow together and we build together. It's not a get rich quick business type of business. It's a business where you build and you are paid, or you become successful in regard to your efforts and commitment and the time you put in. And that's the beauty of it, because it's your business and you get paid as you run your business. So thank you so much. God bless you. Looking forward to see you next time with another presentation. Hope you've been inspired. God bless you for now, and bye.